I think it's more so of what's required day to day in order to get ourselves in a position to three-peat.
Chris, you put it out there, 20-plus sacks. What's it going to take to try to get to that?
Everything, everything. God, luck, some unselfish teammates, and stagnation.
It seems like it would mean a lot to you. Just the way you react to it seems like it would mean a lot to you.
No, it's just tough as hell, but I'm gonna do it.
So Willie don't line up.
They ain't gotta be willing. We ain't, that's one thing, man. We ain't asking for nothing. You know, anything we get, we want it earned. We don't want no one to give us nothing. No handouts. Anything in this world that I get, I want to earn it. That's the satisfaction of the journey. You're right, because of the hardships that you face within the journey. So don't give me anything.
Chris, there wasn't only a little bit of uncertainty with you, but really the whole defensive line. What did it mean for the team to kind of bring back a lot of these guys?
Hey, man, they graded my owner at F. And I got 2 middle fingers for them. He had A place in my book. Brought back Dana, Tershawn Warden, Mike Pennell. We was able to bring a lot of guys back to help us get there the next year. Charles Aminihu. So for me, it's a sense of accountability and a sense of appreciation because I know who I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis and the guys that I'm dealing with.
Chris, most of you guys are here for this mandatory minicamp. Just what do you think that can do in terms of maybe getting you guys even more advanced than maybe where you were in previous years when you guys have competed against the
I think most importantly, OTAs is about building continuity with the team, chemistry. That's a huge part of it. When you have a lot of young guys, getting them acclimated to how we practice, the speed of practice, and just being able to be around the guys and compete. I think most importantly, we kind of missed that aspect of it. We been off since February the 13th, and be able to be competing with my guys every day.
Did you have a specific message for someone like Felix who, for circumstances didn't play a ton last year, but obviously he's going to look to have a bigger role, being the leader in the defensive line room? Anything you sort of wanted him to sort of identify for this season?
I think more so last year was a learning process for him. And it's pros and cons to that because the pro is that you can watch guys that's succeeding right now and take a little bit from all of them, but the con to it is you don't play as much as you want to, right? So I think this year it's all about his mind frame, attacking every day, spending that 10 to 15 minutes after practice, before practice, working on his pass rushing, working on things he can get better, watching extra film, and I think he's been taking hindsight to that. I actually gave him a pat on the back today by how his approach been so far since I've been here, and we're looking forward to training camp.
Chris, Spags mentioned the fact that he told you guys that he had a top-ranked or maybe it was second-ranked defense and it fell to last in the league last year. Just wondered how the next year, how that message resonated among you guys and just what's the takeaway from that?
Just how easy it is to get complacent. I think that was 2016, 2017 New York Giants, if I'm correct. He actually showed us the bulletin this morning on the board, how they was ranked second and went to 34th. And just the complacency level, man. It's so easy to get complacent. It's so easy to get to we'll fix it later, you know what I mean? Especially when you come off of such a high. So you want to always keep that pressure applied and making sure you're challenging each other at the highest level.
He showed it
Couple more.
again today.
Yeah, he actually showed it again today, this morning.
Okay, 2
What's
more.
your kind of
Let's go.
psyche?
Last 4.
What's your kind of psyche right now, even mental health, compared to maybe where you were last year, with being away from the team and the uncertainty versus now knowing you got a long-term contract and you're set?
Well, the mental health aspect of it is I'm here. Last year I wasn't. I got to report to training camp. Last year I didn't. So my mental was like, shit, I got to stay in the dorm. Last year I didn't. I slept in my bed. So, it's a mental challenge. But overall, I'm in a good state of mind. I'm happy to be here, happy to be back on the team with Kansas City. I'm happy to be back with the organization. I think it's a plus for both of us, for us, and I'm excited to be back here, man.
Chris, Travis was up here yesterday talking about that he knew that the end of his career was coming sooner rather than later. I know he's got a few years on you. You don't like that kind of talk, do you?
What the hell? He's retiring this year? Like, what do you mean?
No, he didn't say that. When you say he knew it was coming, at some point. What about you? I mean, you see the end anywhere in sight? I know he's got a few years on you, but you see the end anywhere in sight?
Man, listen, I don't think about it, man. You know, once you begin to think about things like that, you're getting to feed the mind those type of thoughts. I don't even want my mind to even go that far to the R word. But Trav, he's fucking pretty old. All right. I'm just playing, Trav. I love you. But no, man, Trav, he got like 4 or 5 more years. And what is he even talking about retirement for? I mean, you know, we can't let TK Soul go. It's like, if we retire, we got to retire together. Give me like at least 6 more years. Then we'll talk about it.
Chris, I'm sorry, I didn't understand when Pete asked you about the D-line coming back, and what was the first thing you said? You said double bird, we were supposed to ask you about, there was a lot of guys that were in limbo and bringing.
Oh, double birds for anybody who gave my owner an F plus.
Oh, okay.
You know, he's an A plus in my book. He ended up extending Coach Reed, Brett Veach, and bringing Joe Cullen back, giving him extensions, Spags. I mean, the moves he made this offseason is high priority moves and putting his team in a position to win again. So I commend the Hunt family for that, and I'm excited, man. We got a lot of guys back on the D line that we had last year. So the chemistry amongst the group continue to build off of that. Everyone is healthy. Knock on wood. We waiting on Charles Omenihu to get back, who played a huge factor with us last year. So we're in a positive direction right now.
Last one, Pete.
No pads yet, but early impressions with your line going against Kingsley Soma, Taiya, we see him rotating against you guys.
Well, it's a catch-22 with OTAs because you can't bull rush, right? And you have no pads, so it's like it's more so handwork, and it's also a level of protecting each other. You know, training camp, I think we can open up that talk a little more on where we at, where we stand, and either we getting our ass kicked or we kicking ass. So talk to me about it in training camp, man. Y'all have a good day.
You too, thank you.
Justin Watson.
Early impressions on the receiving core, and obviously with the kind of new work with Hollywood Brown back there.
Yeah, it's been great. Good mix of new faces and some guys that have been around here. So I think just a lot of new energy. It's been cool. We always talking about attacking the new season, using this time to improve, starting to figure out who we are, and it's just been cool to see some new additions like Hollywood Brown, getting Nico Mio back, and then obviously Xavier. He's just dynamic. So it's been really great to add some great guys and dynamic playmakers out there.
Justin, with Hollywood and Xavier, and it's a lot of speed, obviously. What's that going to do you think, for you guys offensively?
Yeah, I think we're still figuring out what everyone's good at. Coach Reed and the whole offensive staff is really good at using everyone's strengths and hiding some weaknesses. First impressions is just that, those guys are blazers. They're a different level of speed, and defenses are going to have to back up.
Justin, are you used to being the fast guy in the receiving group?
Last year we had a lot of debates and conversations, I would say the last 2 years, about who's the fastest, and I would always put my name in that ring. I'm going to defer it to one of those two. Those guys can absolutely fly. So one of those two are definitely the fastest right now.
Xavier hasn't been able to get on the field yet, but just in the room, what do you get the sense of as far as his football IQ and that type of stuff?
Yeah, he's doing a great job picking up the playbook. One of the tough things early on in this offense is, okay, can you learn one position, but the way we use receivers, can you learn all three? So I think he's had a nice job had a nice opportunity to sit back and look at every single position, see the defenses, let the game slow down for him a little bit as he transitions to an NFL playbook and see NFL defenses.
Just to remind me if I'm correct, but obviously you were part of Tampa Bay after they had won the Super Bowl the year before. Obviously you're going to do it again this time around. You did it last year as well. Just what about those experiences can you sort of rely upon, learn from, and obviously maybe even disseminate to some of the guys about the rare chance to go three?
Yeah, I think it's a Hank Aaron quote that I really like. He said, "Yesterday's home runs don't win today's games," and that's always how you got to attack the season. This time of year, nobody cares that you won the Super Bowl last year. It doesn't earn you anything except you're getting everybody's best shot. So we've just used this time to, hey, forget about the Super Bowl. You know, we got the ring ceremony tomorrow. That'll be the last time that we talk about or celebrate last season. But really, since we've gotten here, it's been, you know, the whole train's moving forward. Nobody's talking about last year. It's about what we want to do this year.
How much does it need to read offense evolve? I mean, I know that the core is probably there, but year to year, are you finding yourself each year like, oh, wow, look at this? Or, you know, do you kind of see it coming? Is it an evolution that happens all through the season and you just kind of pick up when the new year starts?
Yeah, I'm already excited about what we have going in for early next season. I think our coaching staff is so smart that they see any tendencies that we give, anything that defenses try to throw at us late in the season, and we try to figure out a way, how can we complement that? How can we use what they're overplaying to our advantage? So, you know, I know Coach Reed's record in the first month of the season has been good, and I think a lot of that's been just all the film work, all the study in the offseason, just taking I mean, they watch every single play from the previous season multiple times over. So just that level of detail makes us feel really confident and comfortable out there running around.
Last season, the receiver room was, you know, it was a big accountability and holding everyone accountable, you know, amongst all the problems. Just as the vet, you were kind of the vet in the room last year, and it seems like you're the vet in the room again this year. I mean, just what's it going to be like, kind of teaching these young guys and bringing them along?
Yeah, I think, you know, we learned a lot last year from those experiences. I think kind of the midpoint of the season, we figured out what habits we had to put in our room to be successful and to win games, and I've seen those habits carry over. And then guys like Hollywood Brown, I mean, he's a worker. For everything else, you know, dynamic playmaker, he is a hard worker and a good leader. So it's been cool to see us have what we had at the end of last year, and then another veteran guy like Hollywood come in and just add some things onto that.
Pete, you mentioned you're kind of the veteran in the room. I mean, I think you're 28 now. Do you find you tend to do things differently in the off season? Do you find yourself, you know, kind of changing your regimen a little bit just to kind of keep up with time?
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, you just figure out your off-season routine and what works for you. So I think it's been similar the last few years. You know, going late into the postseason, playing in the Super Bowl, and then coming back for OTAs is a challenge. But you know, I've been fortunate enough to do that 3 times. So you kind of figure out how to get your body turned around quickly, and then you know, once you come here, it's just fun. It feels like back to being a kid again, just going out there. Can't believe I can still put a helmet on and call this a job.
Can you explain kind of what you do during the off season?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's first couple weeks are my wife's. You know, I joke. She woke up with my son every morning, and the morning after the Super Bowl, he woke up at 5 a.m. Vegas time, and she said, "Hey, it's your turn." So, you know, I just try to spend a lot of time with family. You know, just get a lot of body work, a lot of massages, and then you know, just start back lifting, running routes, getting down to Texas with Pat and those guys, and I mean, we just got a good thing going right now.
After tomorrow, what do you do between now and the time camp starts?
Yeah, that's a great challenge. Like you said, you have to get your body back a little bit from OTAs, but you're preparing for the long stretch of the season. So they did a good job of making sure everyone had equal reps and spread the reps around. I think as a whole in our receiver room, we're pretty healthy. So I think a lot of us said, hey, we're just going to keep going. We've been running routes 3-4 times a week. Let's just keep running 3-4 times a week until the season when we'll be ready.
Last one, anyone?
We'll get Hollywood in a second here. Just him specifically, what kind of personality and energy has he brought to the room?
You know, he's I'd say like a soft-spoken presence. You know, he's got a calming energy to him, but when it's go time, it's go time. You know, he gets fired up and just has that energy. When he goes out, he wants to be the first guy to make a play. And once he makes a play, man, he wants to bring everyone with him, wants to bring that energy. So he's an awesome leader and awesome worker.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Out there deeper out with Patrick and then one of the goal line, just the connection you guys have had, how do you see it improve from when you first met him to now?
It's been good. From when we first started going back in Dallas to now, it's just keep improving, and he's trusting me more and more, so that's good.
Can you take us through that deep touchdown you had toward the end of practice? Take us through that play?
Yeah, seeing him blitz, kind of just, put my head down, trusting that he was going to throw it, looked up, the ball was in the air, just made a play.
Was there stuff that stood out to you just
Yeah, definitely. Feel like everyone's on the same page. Everyone got the same goal, same mission, and the way we compete out there in practice, and then we teach each other, like we help each other. Defense talk to offense, offense talk to defense. So I feel like that's a big part of it.
What kind of motivation is it when you have all these guys that are, your teammates talking about going to this ring ceremony tomorrow and as a driving force for what you want to do this year?
It's a big motivation. A lot of these, I'm getting close with a lot of them, and just see the work that these guys putting in, and the eagerness to chase another one. And I want my first one, so I'm excited for it.
Early on, I know it's early, but have you seen any similarities between catching passes from Lamar and Kyler and now Pat?
I mean, not really.
Ball's a ball.
Yeah. They're all different players. Nobody's like each other. Nobody's like Patrick Mahomes. Nobody's like Lamar Jackson. Nobody's like Kyler.
Now that you've been through a few weeks of practice now, what do you think you're capable of if you get a full season in this offense?
I'm excited to be here. Trusting Coach Reed, Coach Nagy, Pat. I'm just excited for the opportunity and what's ahead.
Hollywood, what have you liked most about working with Coach Reed so far?
They let me play. They let me be a weapon. Something that I'm excited to do. It's not I'm just stuck in this role or that role. I get to be a weapon for the offense. I'm excited for that.
I know you get a chance to see how Pat throws the ball. We also saw you at the Mavericks game, right, hanging out with those guys. I know you've been a famous guy. People know you, recognize you, come up to you, but he's probably the most famous guy in the NFL. What was that experience like, just kind of hanging out and, in a big public space like that and seeing how people reacted to Patrick?
I mean, I look at him for who he is. I mean, he's a humble guy, and his mind is always on the main thing, always, and that's what I like about him. And being around him helped me, and what I want out of my career, and just excited going forward.
When you said that you're not stuck in a role that you can be a weapon, can you elaborate on what you mean by that?
I mean, guys look at me, they think, oh, he only could do this or he only could do that. Coach Reed, he's put me in positions to do a lot of things.
What did the next couple of weeks look like as you go away and prepare for training camp?
Training, getting my body right, just building, getting ready for camp, getting ready for the season.
Hey, you spoke a little bit about this Saturday, but just the mentorship role you've had with Rasheed and Xavier, some of the young receivers, how have you embraced that, just kind of getting those guys to, learn the way professionals work?
It's been fun. They kind of gravitated towards each other, and they're open. They listen, and I've been on 2 other different teams. Coming from my background to where I am now, it's a lot of insight I could share with those guys, and they're taking it in.
Hollywood, what should fans expect from this receiving core in terms of speed? How would you describe the speed that you see out there?
We're fast. We're definitely fast. We're gonna put a lot of pressure on people for sure. I just think it's gonna be exciting. I think everyone should be excited for it.
Are you kind of in that same line, are you kind of getting a sense, even without Xavier out there, about what it's going to be like when you and Rashi and Travis and Xavier are all in the field at the same time, and the defense has to deal with all 4 of you?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for sure. Because not only are we, competing against the defense, we're competing amongst each other. We're competing with ourselves, and I feel like that's what's going to drive us, to be, one of the best in the league.
Emily, go ahead.
You mentioned that you've gotten close to some players. Can you kind of say what players you've gotten close to?
I mean, obviously Rasheed, but Pat, Trav, everyone really. Everyone's kind of. We train together too, like outside of here. So. The whole receiver core, getting together and just being around each other as much as we can heading into the season.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.